Hey friends, welcome to another session of Storytime with me. I'm Miss Seema and you're watching Seema Storytime. Children, I have always loved to read stories on pets. They just excite me a lot. And pets are the creatures which bring so much of joy and love into your life, isn't it? Yes. So similarly, in today's story, which is The Bookworm, this is Max. And Max wants a pet. Now, Max has tried all the things possible to convince his parents to get him a pet. Well, after a lot of discussion, he decides he's going to get a worm as a pet. A worm? Ooh. Well, I know there are a lot of children who love to have worms as pets. But, well, Max liked it. And then what happens to the worm? So something strange happens and we are going to read that only in the story. Okay, so let's not wait further and let's read the story, The Bookworm. The Bookworm by Debi Gliori. I need a pet, said Max. Really? Said Mummy. Just a small one, said Max. A little puppy. Not a puppy, said Mummy. They chew things. I need a pet, said Max. Said Daddy. Just a fluffy one, said Max. A teeny weeny kitten, please? Not a kitten, said Daddy. They make the most awful smells. A penguin, said Max. It would melt in our warm house, said Mummy. A shark, said Max. Too many teeth, said Mummy. A dragon, Max said. That would be so cool. Don't be silly, said Daddy. Dragons don't exist. What about a nice goldfish, suggested Mummy. No, thank you, said Max. Goldfish just swim around in circles. They're boring. Max decided he would find a pet for himself. It wasn't easy. Birds were very chatty, but they didn't want to live in houses. Wasps didn't mind living in houses, but they were very unfriendly. Flies were very friendly, but they had some revolting habits. But then Max found a pet that was just right for him. A worm? Said Daddy. Ew! Just make sure it stays in your room, said Mummy, and look after it. At first, the worm curled up in its bowl of earth and hid. It takes time to make friends with a new pet, so Max tried to be patient. Max sang its songs, stroked its lumpy back, and read bedtime stories. The worm loved stories best of all. You are a real bookworm, said Max. In time, Max and the bookworm became the best of friends. They loved reading books together. They read that worms like to eat roots, fruits, leaves, and earth. But this bookworm liked curry and extra hot chili crisps most of all. The bookworm loved those. Max noticed that the bookworm was changing color. And did the lumps on its back look more like spikes? Sometimes, when no one was watching, the bookworm chewed Max's pillow, and sometimes it made awful smells. Then one night the bookworm sneezed, and smoke began to pour out of its head. Poor you, wailed Max, throwing his window open to let the smoke out. But the bookworm flew out too. Wow, squeaked Max. You are a dragon. How cool is that? But don't fly away forever. Come back soon, please. Max's dragon flew off into the night, and Max ran downstairs to tell his parents all about it. Don't be silly, said Daddy. Dragons don't exist. Max sighed. You know what? I have changed my mind about having a goldfish. I'd love one. Max is very fond of his pet goldfish, although it does seem to have lots of teeth. And the bookworm? It still comes home to visit Max, especially when there is a book at bedtime. The end. Oh my goodness! So, the worm starts listening to all the beautiful stories Max is reading to him in the night. And then the worm turns into a bookworm. And then eventually it becomes a dragon. Wow. From a worm to a dragon, that's very cool, isn't it? Well, Max had to decide finally that the only pet he's going to have is a goldfish. Good decision, isn't it? Well, I love the story, children. I loved reading it for you, and I'm sure you loved listening to it. So if you like our stories, please leave a comment in the comment section. Good. So with that, we come to the end of another exciting story session with you. We will come back with more. Till then, from our story room, it's a bye-bye. See you soon.